What is up, guys, and welcome back to an episode of the F1 Clash 2024 series. We're here for episode number 21 today. Then, as if you guys did miss the previous episode, definitely should go check it out before you see this one. Of course, this time around, we do have, of course, a new exhibition to start. This is from the 2024 update, of course, but today's goal, of course, is to get to Series 5, and if we can do so, that would be great. That we can unlock some new drivers. It would take probably 2 wins from now, so if we can get some decent wins, that would be very nice. But opening up some crates now, just to get some more assets here. We already have, of course, unlocked all the assets from Series 4, so that, of course, is no issue. But we can get on to the first race here, which is going to be against a, I think, a quite even team score here. So it's going to be a bit of a difficult episode, but we'll see how this ends up as we go to Brazil then for our first race. Let's see how the qualifying plays out here. Of course, we're going to be using our normal lineup here, our normal push for high quality, high race start. We're using Webber and Sainz here. Of course, Webber has a great race start here. Sainz has a good qualifying stat, a good mix of both. So we'll see how this goes. We're going to be putting Sainz here on the hard tires. As for Webber, though, we're going to keep him. Actually, we're going to swap him. We're going to put Webber then on the hards and Sainz on the softs. I do have more confidence in Sainz moving up through the field, but as for Webber, we can probably keep him on the self-control boost and maybe extend these tires a little bit. But we are ready to go racing. We go to 5 lights then for this race. Here we go, lights out, and away we go. Sainz gets a great start there. Webber also gets a decent start as well, and they move to the outside as they make their way into the first, the Senna S here. Webber gets the job done, and Sainz moves his way forward here as we make our way into the sector 2 here, using a nice cinematic camera here, trying to follow these guys through here with Webber. That is him in P11 and Sainz down in P14. Actually make that 12th as these guys are shuffling positions now as we speak. But for now, we're looking towards Sainz to try and push him forward here as he's making his way up through the hill here. Webber's actually doing a decent job defending. We're putting him on the conserve here to try to see if we can make these tires last for a decent amount of time in towards the first set of corners here. Sainz tries a move there, but unfortunately that does not work out there. But into sector 2, can you potentially make a move? He has a decent amount of battery charge there in the pack, and Webber's doing a great job defending off. I think that is Valtteri Bottas there. But Sainz is trying to make this. Actually, unfortunately, Webber lets Bottas through, but he also lets Sainz through as well, so a bit of teamwork there at play. And now he will get a chance to make his way up the inside of the Finnish driver, and Sainz is now up into P13, then with Webber down in P15. Sainz is calling to box for the next lap, and we were going to do so successfully onto the medium tires then. As for Webber, we're going to keep him going for now. He's doing a decent job at the moment here, holding position, and we're still leading this race so far. Not exactly sure where our rival is. There's one of our rivals down there in P17 there. But as for Sainz, he's far enough ahead to the point where I think he can come out right in the mix of this. So as long as Webber can keep defending here very nicely, we're just leaving him on the standard, and to my surprise, he's actually doing a great job defending for us. So good on him, the Australian driver. He does let, unfortunately, the drivers through, and he nearly lets the rival through as well, but the rival is coming into the pits, so that means Webber is going to be continuing on, and Sainz will come out behind one of the rivals. One of the rivals is right behind Webber, as you can see right here. But coming into sector 2 there, we're going to try to see if we can get a move on. We're trying to actually conserve some more tires with Webber here, but he is very, very touch and go here. We're going to instead pit him on this lap. I was actually thinking of trying to make it last 5 laps, but lasting 5 laps around interlock was actually really, really difficult, but it was going to be no use then with Webber, given he only had the self-controlled boost. So we're going to be pitting him on this lap onto the medium tires here. We're going to be swapping him over actually to a 2-stop strategy. And as for Sainz, he is making his way through the field, and he's now back up in front of all the other guys. So we'll see how this plays out here. Sainz makes his way in towards sector number 2, and Webber is coming through out of the pit lane very, very nicely. So right now it's looking good. We have one more stop to make for both drivers, but as for now, we should be in the comfortable lead so far. We'll just have to see how the pit stops play out here, but Sainz looking good so far on the medium tires. Webber, of course, just came out on this medium tires, and he's already looking pretty solid as we make our way on to lap number 6 then. Sainz looking decent as well. We may consider pitting him on this lap or the next lap, depending on what we do. We might have to pin him on this lap, but we could probably afford a double stack right now. These guys are spread out far enough to the point where getting a double stack, it actually might not hurt them that much, or if at all. But unfortunately, Sainz is actually giving up positions here, but we can keep it going here with some power unit, trying to get past one of the drivers here. Now making our way into the final corner on the inside, but no, we get blocked, unfortunately. So we make our way onto lap number 7. Now we're actually going to be forced to pit on this next lap here, and we're going to see how this plays out here. I don't think Webber's going to be able to make it to the end. We are leaving him on the conserve mode for now. We might have to make a last lap pit stop depending on what happens here at this end phase. Maybe if there is a safety car, we can pull it off. But as soon as I say that, of course, we're going to be deciding to pit here onto these fresh soft tires. So he's going to have a fresh battery to go full send. So this is going to be great then for the Australian driver here. And as for Sainz, he's coming through the final corner here, making his way onto the main straight and into the pits. Webber comes through. He's on the conserve. There's plenty of space between these two drivers, so we should be okay here. Sainz comes off the medium tires, goes back onto the medium tires. We probably could have put him on the soft tires. We almost actually screw up that pit stop, but we just managed to get him out in time there. And now both of these guys are out very, very nicely, with one of the rivals actually sandwiched between Webber and Sainz, but should be no problem for us as we make our way through Sector 2 then for both drivers here. Sainz getting ready to have a bit of a charge lap here. We're going to use a bit of a boost just to try to get away from some of these drivers here. As for Webber, he is fully ready to go. I mean, he's at 100% here, so he is ready to go full heads blast, full guns blazing here as we make our way on to the final lap then of this Brazilian Grand Prix. Sainz is making his way into Sector 2 here. We're going to be utilizing the battery charge here. And as for Webber, he is just flying right now. Look at the Australian driver making his way through the field here as we speak. And he is going to be looking potentially for that fast lap. There's a engine failure there for, I'm not sure who that is. I think it's maybe one of the Ferraris. I'm not sure. But look at Webber sailing on the potentially outside the Albon. Doesn't make that work, but does get on the inside of Albon and Bottas there on the final corner here. And just like that, that's going to be a very nice result. We're going to take home another win for us. I mean, I don't know if we got the fastest out there. I think we did. Not exactly sure. But nonetheless, it is a very nice win for us. And now we are one win away then from Series 5 here. So if we get a solid matchup, we should be okay here, getting a standard crate as per usual. Nothing too exciting here. But yes, we're going to need one more race to pull it off. But we do have a standard crate from the pit pass to open here. Nothing exciting. Again, we already have all the assets from Series 4. There's no need to get new stuff. So let's just head on straight to the next race and for one more time here, potentially in Series 4. Hopefully this 536 team score means that we won't have to face some ridiculously hard opponents here. Of course, the last opponent wasn't that difficult, but, you know, I prefer easier matchup over a harder matchup, of course. It's going to be against a 496 team score, so we do get my wish, and we can get going then for this final race, which is going to be at China, Shanghai. So we'll see how we both fare around here as we make our way onto the qualifying lap. Then it's actually raining here at the Shanghai International Circuit, but I don't think this is going to impact the qualifying too much. It will not as we make our way to the line. 15th for Sainz, 16th for Webber, our rival using Piastri and Magnussen here, but it is likely going to be a dry race all the way through, so that's going to make the strategy elements quite easy for us here. We're going to be giving Webber the Hex boost, and you are about to witness some of the greatest overtaking then from this guy. I was not expecting to see Webber that good here on these Hex boosts, but you are about to watch this. We go to 5 red lights, lights out. It is a fast start for both of these drivers here, and Sainz gets off the line decently here, as does Webber as well. And look at Sainz sailing on the outside here. Look at Webber making his way through. He's already up to P16 then as we make our way in towards Sector 2. There's a bit of a concertina effect there. Unfortunately, Sainz unable to capitalize, but Webber is able to capitalize as he makes up a bunch of positions up to 13th. Make that 12th now. We're going to swap the guys around, and Webber's just going to go sailing through these guys here as if these guys are standing still. This is what the Hex boost is doing. This guy is absolutely loving as he's up to P8 already. Sainz is in P12 sitting comfortably, but the most important thing, of course, is that we are ahead of our rival here before we head off to Series 5 here. We got one more race to do. Webber in a great position here. He's in P8, sitting very comfortable. We're going to put him on the next lap. And look at this. Already pushing for P7, almost making the move stick there, but he gets it on the outside eventually, and actually does a great job there up into P7. Then Sainz looking for a move on Albon, and he does so successfully up into P12 and P11. And look at Webber absolutely sailing around these guys. I am giving him way too much glaze, but you got to give credit to this guy who is moving up the field so effortlessly. These Hex boosts are absolutely golden for the Australian driver here. This may be an important strategy we have to implement in Series 5 if we want to have a good time there. But anyways, I'm making our way on towards lap 3. Webber is into the pits on this lap here. Sainz is coming through. We're going to pit him on the next lap onto some hard tires here. So we're going to be doing a one stop then with the Spaniard as Webber comes out of the pits. 4.69. Very nice. Second stop there for the Australian driver, and he will settle in P16 then. So we'll see how the Australian gets on with these medium tires. Was it a flash in the pan with the soft tires, or will he actually have a decent run? Let's see, as there's an engine failure there for I think one of the Ferraris, or I'm not sure who that was. It looked red. I don't know. Just typical Ferrari stuff, I feel like. But anyways, Webber there made a nice move up into 14. Sainz is coming in onto the pits at the end of this lap period. We made a nice bit of a battery charge there just to make sure that when we get out of the pits, we can have a decent run at the field here. Webber's already caught up to one of the rivals who is yet to pit them, so that's a very, very good sign as he makes his way down the main straight to start lap number 4 then. He's back up into P8 then. Make that, yes, P8 as he holds off Perez there off the pit exit. Sainz comes out in P12, so he'll be going to the end. So our main goal with him is to make sure that he makes it to the end there, doesn't really run out of tires at the end. I don't know what I just said. I kind of just blabbed my way through that. But Webber there, still in P8 at the moment. Running actually very nicely here. He is still chilling, though, on these medium tires. We're going to be pitting him on the next lap for some soft tires here. And who knows how quickly he's going to be on soft tires with a full battery there, because he's going to be absolutely flying. He's doing a decent job defending, despite the fact he's getting held up there and hounded by Sergio Perez. But he holds his ground, and we're going to be confirming our pit stop onto the soft tires next time around here, as unfortunately Perez does get the better of him, and he almost goes around the outside, but unfortunately does not make the move stick. As for Sainz there, he is holding off Piastri very nicely, which is good to see here as he's sitting in P10. Remember, this is not really our race. He's just trying to make it to the end, so I think Piastri is going to be making another stop here, but I do want to put Sainz in a good position here as we make our way onto the back straight for Webber. At least he is making his way onto the back straight, charging up that battery 70% as we make our way into the hairpin here. And now Sainz is trying to charge up the battery. Of course, that self-control boost does give a bit of a boost to the power unit, which is very nice. He's up to 90% plus into that final corner here. Making his way down the the main straight here. He's at 100%. Webber comes out in P12 then. So we're automatically guaranteed the win here pretty much. We've completed our pit stops, and both of our drivers are ahead of the rival here. But for now, it's just going to be taking one glory lap at the end here. We are conserving with both drivers to make sure they get an absolute stonking lap here on the final lap of the Chinese Grand Prix here. You can already see the grip difference between this hard and the soft tires. Sainz is falling away, but Webber is still moving despite the fact that he is on full conserve mode. So very good on the Australian driver here to pull this off for us as we make our way onto the hairpin here. And for the final time here in Series 4, we're going to be starting a lap, and now we can unleash Webber here on full attack mode with the hex boost and a fresh set of soft tires here. Sainz is going to be left on the conserve because we're just trying to make it to the end here. As Webber, you saw they're up into P8 then, and he could be hunting for more as he already sets a fastest first sector here. So very, very nicely. We'll see how Sainz can make it to the end, but look at how fast Webber is going here in towards the left, the left and the right hander. Makes a move up into P7 and sets a purple second sector then. Who knows what this guy can do as he makes his way onto the final corner here. Very, very nicely. And he will come across line in P6 as I think one of the McLarens had a bit of an issue at the line there. And for Sainz, he's just about going to make it to the end here on these hard tires. You saw Webber there very briefly got the fastest lap. And Sainz will make his way through in P10. So in that should succeed us into Series 5 here as we wait for our rival to finish his race, which he will do so now, which now means that when we go to this screen, we can press continue, and then when we go to this screen, we can confirm our gold crate, an extra, of course, trophy for the pit pass, and now if we get out, that means we are into Series 5. So thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next episode for Series 5 content, of course, and I'm going to leave it off with this final opening here, with this pit pass opening, where we get an interesting driver, which we could potentially use then for Series 5. So I will see you guys in the next episode.